Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Monday Inspiration. Now, like always, we're going to start off with a scripture. Um, I'm starting to change it up a little bit, so I'm adding in a little bit longer scripture, before, middle, and after. So, my first one is Acts 9 1 through 19, and this is basically the conversation of Jesus to Saul on the road to Damascus. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but what it basically says is that as he went on his way, he approached Damascus, and suddenly a light from heaven shone around him. And falling to the ground, he heard a voice saying to him, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? And who said, and he said, Who are you, Lord? Yes, I am Jesus who are you are persecuting. But rise, enter the city, and you will be do what you're told. Now, where I kind of want to lead with this, because how the story goes, is he's on the road to go and persecute Christians for starting the church or the new Christian faith. Now, he basically didn't like them, was all against them, and this was a life changing experience. That's kind of where I want to lead to, is life changing experiences. I would like to lead off with my own, and what changed your life? I would say when I was on probation, there was multiple times where I just kept slipping up. And what I mean by that is, as one of my stories I told, I got pulled over. They searched, I had stuff on me. I kind of got away with it. Now, on the other hand, this is where I got pulled over multiple times on different occasions for different things, and I got away with it. I soon started realizing that there's only so much time I can get away with it. So it's either push the envelope until basically something happens or make that change. This is where I started to get that feeling about changing before the bad happens. It's kind of like trying to catch it. If you feel it, do something about it before it happens. Now, here's a saying that I wrote down, and it says, You change before your life is changed, if that makes sense. What I mean by that is, before you can see that or heading in the wrong direction, definitely try to make that effort to change, to catch yourself. That's what the name of the game. Life is just about learning lessons. The more you can learn, the better at life you're going to get, really. Here's another saying I have for you. It says, as you change, be as bold with your new life as you were with your old life. Now, what that means is, as you started, getting out of those experience of those life changing of what should I do, and as I'm starting to change, you gotta be as bold. And I believe that's the same thing with Saul slash Paul. He was bold as a persecutor when he's persecuting all these guys against the religion that he was. It's kind of similar when people just are not liking you and not understanding. I heard a saying that you don't like what if you don't understand it, you won't like it. But if you do understand it, you'll get to actually understand the perspective, if that makes sense. Now, I do have another scripture for you, which is in Ezekiel 36:26. And it says, I will give you a new heart, a new spirit, I will put within you. I will remove the heart of stone from your flesh, and give you a heart of flesh. As I started changing, I eliminated one thing when I was doing all the bad, and that was emotion. As I started as he was helping me chisel away that stone of heart, he started giving me more of a softer heart. That's where I think the change started taking place, because that's when I started watching movies. All of a sudden, it affected me a little different. You start seeing stuff and you become a little bit emotional. Now, I think that's when you feel that you're no longer who you were. And that's where I want you to get to, is start to that development of getting, that change. There's always a life changing experience, just like what I did in Acts, or what I read in Acts with Paul. And, with my experience with, it's 3, 4 times. I don't know how many more times I can get pulled over and kind of get away with this. That's where it's time to make that change. You know, I do have one more scripture, and it is in Romans 1:16, and it states, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God for salvation to everyone who believes." I believe that 100%. It goes along exactly with that, being bold with your old life as in your new life. Yesterday, or last night, Sally say, is we did our treat street, and just giving back to the community, being part of that experience. That's another life changing experience that I had, because for kids that are not able to go around and trick or treat, we were able to entertain and help them, basically, and give back. And that's what I love to do. I think that's why that scripture on Ezekiel softened my heart to help me think of a bigger thing than myself. Now, I wrote this down, and this is what helped inspire me, because I was listening to the message yesterday with Pastor Bo in our church at Thrive. And what I wrote to myself is, show your experiences, show it could so it could bless others that are going through the same thing that you went through. That's all I want to do, is let you guys know that, you're not alone. I went through it. I went through the change. I'm still going through the change. I think we're all in a life of basically progress. We're not perfect, but we're striving for progress, and to keep that 1% growing every day. You know, also, with that being bold of your gospel on the Romans 1:16, I state, I'm not ashamed to state of what changed my life in Jesus, just like it changed Paul's life, which, when he regained sight, after he was blind, which his name was Paul, and he started preaching the gospel, which it was a bigger challenge, because it feels like the same thing of, people know your past, but they see you as the new you, and they don't accept you because they think you're a hypocrite. It's kind of like being, I would say, being in the hood. People expect you to be that certain way, but when you want to change, people think you want to get all brand new. I think it's good to be brand new, honestly. Don't let others' opinions affect your destiny. Now, no ashamed. And this is why I say this, is because when I go to the gym, and before I work out, before I work out, I kneel down and I pray. And one thing I always say is, I want to be, I got this from Pastor Mike at Transformation Church, and it says, I want to be hot, humble, open, and transparent. That's what I want to be every single day, is humble, open, and transparent. That's in this. That means me stuttering. That means me fumbling over my words. That means that I'm not pre-recording it. This is coming straight from my heart, and I'm just kind of reach out to you guys. And this is only making me better, which is helping me be more vulnerable, and it's going to help me develop what I need to help share with others. I kept a lot of things in when I said I shut off emotion, and I believe this helps me release that. Kind of like how people get the release from music, release from doing other things. This is my release. I feel that I'm able to speak to others, and let them know that, like I said, you're not alone in this. You know, um, it's funny because being not ashamed, as I was getting done with one of my workouts, I had a friend come up to me and ask me, "What am I doing next?" And my response was cardio. And his response is, "So it's time to pray?" Because every single time, like I said, when I do it before and after, my cardio is after my workout. And after my cardio, I always lift my hands and I always thank Jesus for a successful workout, for my body being my temple, being strong as it is, protect it. That way I could teach others on how to help and get the right path for their, themselves. That's what I want to do. And that's why I say, don't be ashamed. Be as bold with that old life as you were with your new life. And I think that transparency, nobody's able to take that from you. You got that, and you got something special in you. You know it, I know it, and the Lord knows it. All we have to do is reach inside to pull it out. Now, that's my message today, guys, and I want to thank you for tuning in. Always, like I said, like, subscribe, share it with others that you think that needs to hear this. I'm just trying to be transparent. I'm not somebody special. I'm just want to help. If I could help one person and they could share it with another person to help one more, that's my goal, is to reach one, reach another. There's this thing in a movie, Hacksaw Ridge, Before I Let You Go, and he saves roughly like 200 men, and his saying is just one more, one more. If I could reach one more, please do the same. I love you guys. Aloha, and you guys have a blessed week. Thanks.